I mean, have you ever noticed that your go-to leadership style sometimes works great with some people, but falls flat with others? That maybe with some people, you're giving them just the right amount of direction and support, and other people maybe too much direction. They're complaining about being micromanaged. Well, this happens. And the way to fix that is to use a process called situational leadership. It's been around for a long time. It was developed after much study by Blanchard and Hersey, and it's been widely used over the years. And it's very simple. It's basically an idea that there is no single best leadership style. We need to adapt it to the development level of the person we're leading. Kind of, duh, okay, that makes sense. But moreover, what they do is they help us because they give us a framework. It's basically 4 quadrants. And those frameworks, those quadrants is where you can evaluate your people and place them into a quadrant. The axes are direction, so that's one behavior element, and the other behavior element is support. So relationship support, task direction, okay? So those are the 2 axes. So now let's look at the quadrants. So when you evaluate your direct reports using this framework, you look first at whether they're a D1, which is an enthusiastic beginner. So this person is inexperienced in this role. Hey, they may be experienced at something else, but in this role, they're new. So they're inexperienced, and typically they're eager, they're excited to take this new role. So in that case, we call that enthusiastic beginner. It's low competence, but pretty high commitment. The next box, D2, we call that the disillusioned learner. So they're starting to get a little bit better, they're starting to get a little more competent, but then they're realizing that, this is kind of hard, and so they're failing sometimes. You're still being directive and giving them a little more rope, but they're struggling a little bit. So they still need to grow competency, they still need direction, but they also need encouragement. And so they have some competence, low commitment. Now, when you go to D3, this is the capable but cautious performer. They have the skills, but maybe still lack the confidence to just go out and do it on their own. And so here they have high competence, but variable commitment and confidence. And then the last, D4, is where they have high competence, high commitment, they have the skills, they're motivated, they're confident, and so these are called the self-reliant achiever, ready to take charge. You can just let them run, all right? So when you think about your people on your team, try to put them in one of these quadrants or overlapping. It can be an overlap, it doesn't matter, but you kind of want to get it to the right place. Okay, you've done that. Now let's look at the formula for how do you adapt your style. No big surprise. So for instance, for somebody in D1, there's high direction, low support. They're already pumped and you're giving them direction. There's no way they can really fail because it's such small tasks, right? So you give specific instructions, supervise closely, do this, do it this way, do it by this time, etc. Then on D2, they're getting a little more competent, and you shift to what's called a coaching mode. And here it's high direction and high support. You still want to give them the support, and you still want to give them, you want to give them support, which they now need, but you still need to give them direction. And you still guide them, but you encourage them and you build them up, okay? For D3, now, it's pretty low direction because they're competent, but they're taking on more and more responsibility. So we need to still give them some support. This is a supporting environment where they're pretty much doing it, but you're making sure that they are motivated and confident. So you facilitate, you listen, you build their confidence, you share decision-making, ask them what they think. Sometimes, maybe most of the time, if they want to go a certain way and you think it's okay, you just go fine. That's a good idea. And then you're mostly in how can I help mode. And then lastly, on the D4, that's really full delegation, very little direction, very little support. You trust them, you empower them, you give them responsibility, you let them fly, okay? So there you go. This is not complicated. It's a big reveal when you put your folks in these boxes and start knowing then how to adapt your direction and support accordingly, okay? You can download these quadrants, these illustrations, and then, as usual, I say just try it today. It won't take long. Just try it today, at least on one of your people.